where we do vibe coding and we build apps, micro-saas apps or mobile apps. And it's already 10 p.m. We are going to start our vibe coding session for today. We have been already working on a Flutter travel planning app, all right? So if you have not seen my previous live stream sessions, there are the recordings on my YouTube channel. I will highly recommend, please go visit and watch those live streams first, because we are building an app and we are going to continue over it. Okay. So today so last week when I was building my travel planning app, I was trying to get a particular UI for my app. Like I'm doing vibe coding, so I'm using AI for building the app. I'm giving it a lot of prompts. I'm sort of nudging it, I'm guiding it. But what I realized is that if I want a particular UI that I have sort of even designed a little mock-up, and I try to give it to UI and I try to give it to the AI that it will build that app exactly looking the way I want it, I was finding it challenging to get it into the exact same look and feel of the UI which I wanted it to. So in this session, what we're going to do is we are going to just let LLM decide however way it want the app to look and feel. Okay, we'll just give it some basic sort of acceptance criteria. So we will tell it we want so because our app is travel planning app, so we want user to be able to select source, location, destination location, and then generate itinerary. And while they are selecting a source location or destination location, I want them to receive a feedback by showing their selected location on the map, right? So just this basic criteria, we are gonna give it to the prompt, and we will let Gemini 2.5 Pro model that we use in our vibe coding to let it drive itself and create the UI by itself. Okay, so that is our strategy for today, and let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna quickly share my screen, and I have a request that if you have any question, doubts, thoughts, anything you want to share with me, please use our live chat. And although I would try to respond to your live chat as and when I receive them, but I also have planned a dedicated Q&A session which will happen 1 hour from now on. There will be a counter running in the screen, and when the counter reaches 0, then we can sort of have a dedicated Q&A session where I can answer a bunch of questions in case I receive those. Okay, so I wish me all the best because it's vibe coding, we're using AI, and we don't know what's going to happen. We don't have any sort of plan as such, right? It's as the vibes go. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna start working on our app quickly. So I'm gonna switch to my VS Studio, and there is the workspace of my app, so I'm gonna launch that same workspace very quickly. And the very first thing I'm gonna do is, so it's asking me to update my ZSH session. I'll let it do that very quickly. Okay, and then I'm gonna launch my Android emulator. So I'm testing this app inside this emulator of the Android device which I've created. Okay. And then this is a standard ZSH tunnel where we can run commands. So I'm just running the app, whatever we have got so far. Just let's have a look just quickly. Let's see how it looks, how it behaves, so that we can give some directions to AI that we want it to, what are the changes that we want. So I'm waiting for my app to compile, and this is how it looks currently, and I'm running out of battery. Let me quickly plug in my laptop. Okay, so this is how the app looks currently. It is very far from how I wanted it to look, but let's see what we have got here. So there is one input which says enter source, and then I have a map here which is a sort of a live map, and by default it's pointing to India because I presume that is my geolocation, current geolocation coordinate. So it is picking that up, which is completely fine. And let's enter some destination, and I'm going to click on search. And do we get any error here? Okay, so it say my API key has expired because yes, as you know, in the every session I'm sort of using an API key, and then I'm deleting that API key after that session itself. So what I'm gonna do is quickly generate a new API key. For that I have to go to my Google Cloud Console. API and services. And I'm gonna search for my maps. No, sorry, I'm gonna search my credentials, and there is my API key. Okay, I'm in the wrong project, I guess. Yeah, this is the API key. So let's do that. This time I'll hide the key so that I mean, in case I even forget to so I have copied over my API key, and I'm gonna go to my code here. I have to search for an env file, and this is the old API key. I'm gonna again take it off the screen, paste the new API key, save it, close that file, and bring it back here. So I hope you haven't seen my API key, and I'm gonna rerun my app. And that is very important to make sure the app runs in a secure. And I'm gonna update it. Okay, my system is a bit slow today. Anyways, so I'm gonna do Flutter run again. So just to tell you, it's a live stream, right? If I get stuck somewhere, if I see an error, if I have to wait for something, unfortunately I cannot do any fast forward. So you have to hold your patience, you have to bear with me. And because my whole point of doing these live streams is that you sort of give you understand what is the inside insider view of a developer while building whatever the pains of a developer. You have to also go through that. It's not that you get any discount from going through the same sort of pains which a developer has to go through. So it is my responsibility as a developer myself. I've been in development for 10 to 12 years, so I'm sort of trying to give you a very live sort of interaction, how a developer does things, what are the hurdles he has to go through, and then of course what are the achievements they get while they are building the apps and so on, right? So it's like very transparent, very open and inside view into a developer working while building the apps, right? So these are my Moonlighting sessions about, and this is not just about watching, it's not an entertainment. It's a Moonlighting session. Even if you go to office, if you have a job, if you are doing even studies, right, you can connect with me live, and you can also do the same thing that I'm doing. You can follow the exact same methods. Although I'm building a certain kind of app, like travel planning app, and you might have an idea of an app that you want to build yourself. So I suggest you take inspiration from this, you learn how to do these things, and then you try it for your own app, you build your own app, right? So that is the whole point. And in no way, these are the videos I'm creating to get a lot of views on the YouTube or anything, right? The whole point of these videos are that it has to be very, very raw, right? It has to be very natural. It has to be very sort of not polished, right? It's not that I want to present the best way I can. So even if I stutter while speaking, even if I completely go out of my mind while I'm doing something, right? It's not about that. If I have to publish videos over the YouTube to impress someone, to get a lot of views, I have been doing it in a different way, right? It's not that I'm a completely clueless guy that that I don't know how to do YouTube and things like that, right? The whole point of this live streams, right? This is live. It is at the same time while I'm here sitting on my desk, you are also sitting in any part of either India or out of India, in any part of the world, and we all can connect, we all can chat with each other, we all can have this so if you are also interested in vibe coding, or you are building an app, right? So this could be a platform where we connect with each other, and we can just share, like you build your app, you share your story, your app's problems with me, right? And you are seeing how like I'm going through building my app. And by the way, I'm building these apps only in the live stream. So of course I have like my day routine where I build other kind of things, right? And of course those I'm not sharing, but these particular apps which I'm building, the whole point is that I share with you live the whole process. So everything that is happening for these apps is happening over only these live streams. There is nothing behind the scenes, that I'm doing some pre-preparation or coming in here with like the best impression or anything. No, right? So you just saw me struggling through that my API key, because I had myself deleted that older API key, because after the session, of course, for the security point of view, I had to rotate the API keys. After that, of course, my app broke, right? And there was no pre-preparation, there was no like a sort of a testing, because everything I do, it has to be in this live stream in front of you. All my failures, I want you to see it, I want you to feel it, because if especially the folks who are sort of passionate about development, who see these. Okay, one more thing, it's a bit of philosophical thing, but I really want to share with you. So I have realized, it is my personal sort of personal thing, personal learning. When we get fascinated with something, let's say if somebody is getting popular on social media, or somebody's getting some good revenues out of their online businesses or whatever, right? So imagine this way. Whenever you see someone, right? Whenever somebody comes into your peripheral view, right? When you are observing someone, you are observing them when they have reached around their peak, or at least substantially far from the beginner level. So let's say, guys, if you have some idea about statistics. So there is something called normal distribution, which is also like a bell curve, so the curve goes like this, right? So the thing is, if you see in this bell curve, and if you can recall anyone, like any celebrity, a YouTuber, Instagram celebrity, an entrepreneur, like anyone, right? You are actually seeing them when they have reached this part of the bell curve, right? When they're almost near their peak, because that is where at that point their visibility is like maximum, so of course, right? So they comes into your peripheral also, right? But the problem is you miss out this this part, right, where they've literally struggled through and build things bit by bits, right? And like it's a very, very slow process, and they have like gone from here to here, right? This whole curve, right? This is what people miss out on. And when they get passionate about something, when they sort of get attracted towards something, it could be a profession, it could be a person, it could be anything, right? So if you discount this whole part and you think I'm gonna because that's what you assume, right? You saw them, okay, this entrepreneur has earned, like, let's say this is his MRR, right? Monthly recurring revenue or annual recurring revenue. Let's say it is it is some level. But the problem is, if you would believe that, okay, I'm gonna jump in this thing and I'm gonna straight away hit this point, right, which is where this entrepreneur is, I'm gonna come to it very quickly. That's not gonna happen. That never happens. That is impossible or close to impossible. Okay, so the point is, this whole part, which is a very slow, painful, tedious, like it's hellish process. Okay, it's a hellish process. And what my whole point of this moonlighting session, this live stream, is that I want you to show how this whole hellish sorry, okay, I was submitting hellish, right? HELISH, a hellish process, right? How this whole hellish process looks like. What are the pains that a developer, while they're building an app, while they're sort of marketing the app, while they're trying to gain some users in this app, right? That's what I want you to see, and I'm that person who is going through this hellish process to show you, see, this is the whole process, right? Now that's not necessarily that I'm a completely novice guy or something, right? Or that I don't have any experience. I have quite a bit of experience in building apps and marketing them and so on, right? But still, this is not a staged thing, but every app has its own journey. Every app needs its own push. Every app, it has its own development activity. It has its own efforts to be put in. So like that, my point is that in these live streams, I'm showing you app by app. So I have this plan of like 6-7 apps that I want to build. So let me quickly show you those 6-7 apps that I'm talking about very, very quickly. Where did that go? Oh my goodness. Web coding timeline. Quickly. Oh, I can't find it. Yeah, this one. So this, right? So these are the sort of the apps that I've decided that I'm gonna build through these live streams. We have already built a lead generation app that is in my other channel. I did like complete live stream in Hindi. I have built that app. You can find it. I'll drop the link to that channel also in the comments, right? And then currently we are building this travel planning app, right? And literally I'm building it. It's a Flutter app. I'm using vibe coding, and I'm using vibe coding because it sort of makes the process much faster. And it's like, it's very evident, even as a developer, I can definitely give my backing behind it, that it does makes the process much faster. But the thing is, it's a force multiplier for a developer. If you are not a developer, if you have never done any development before, right, then you're gonna struggle quite a bit, because there are a lot of prerequisites, a lot of knowledge that a developer need to have to build these apps, right? Although as far as the programming language is concerned, I'm not good with building Dart.js apps, right? So Flutter uses Dart.js programming language, so I'm not good with that. So there I'm dependent on AI to help me sort of overcome this barrier where I don't know, where there is a gap of Dart.js knowledge. But beyond it, it's enabling me to build this app very fast. Okay, anyways, a lot of talking, but the whole point is I have to regurgitate that what it is about, why am I doing it, right? You need to know, man. I mean, if you're watching it, right, you need to know why this whole thing is doing, why am I doing it. So let's put this out of the way, and we have this our app again. I'm gonna search for New York again, search for this, and I got a search result appearing. When I click on the New York, some selection is made, of course. I clicked it, but nowhere there is no UI update that is showing. So user experience, it's like very, very bad, right? I did something, I selected the New York, but it's not appearing anywhere. And so this is what we have got so far, right? And this is because I was really forcing the AI that build it the way I want it, because see, okay, so this putting it out of the way, let's keep it open in the preview, because I want it, I want this thing to be shown like often. So let's keep it out of the way. And yeah, so this is some sort of a UI mockup which I have shared with AI. Also said, see, I want something like this. I have something in my mind, like a vision about this app is like this, like there is a source, then you select that, then a destination appears, like something weird thing, right? I mean, it could have, if it would have really happened that way, maybe it would have a nice experience, but I'm finding it difficult to achieve it through the AI, because when I force it, it does like it does not give out good results. So today the whole plan is that I'm gonna give entire control of the UI to the AI, right? And I'm gonna just give it some acceptance criteria that, see boss, this is a travel planning app, so of course it needs these things, right? It needs somebody to able to enter the source location, it needs somebody to enter the destination location, and it needs somebody to able to build that itinerary, a timeline of the itinerary plan, right? Like go from this to this spot, stay here for some time, then go to this spot, have some breakfast here, 15-20 minutes, and then start there, and so on, like a proper itinerary, a travel planning itinerary. That's the whole point of this app. And yeah, so let's continue with that. I'm gonna close this thing now. I'm gonna get back, and so this is our app. We have already seen how it has been progressed so far. I'm going to keep it in the plan mode, right? So it is Cline. I'm using Cline AI agent to build this app, and as part of my AI choice, right, LLM, I'm using Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. It is really good, like it's the best SOTA, state of the art, right? SOTA, state of the art, right? So it is like really, really good among the closed source models, right? And yeah, so we have this develop.md file, right? So this is my file where I do a planning, right? Where I plan the I have put a plan of my entire app, right? So largely it is divided in multiple milestones. And why we have done these milestones? Because so that we can sort of keep track of the entire development activity, because it's if we consider it as a monolith and we just try to directly get into the completion of the app without going through these milestones, then we would not know, right? Like if you go to a journey, you often go through a way, and then you have these sort of stations, on the way. You sort of in your mind, at least, you keep track of these things. Okay, we have crossed this place, and now we are this far away, and we have crossed this. So that sort of keep a mentally organized while we are building the app, right? And I think I've got one comment within my live stream. So let me quickly take a look. Who is that? And Anke. Okay, Anke again. Thank you. You're a great fan, man. Thank you for joining these live streams and giving your support to us. And I really hope you get something out of it, right? The whole point is you learn something, right? And whatever I need to do so that you can learn something, you can get something out of it. I'll be very happy to do it, right? So just please keep commenting, please keep sharing your love, your request, right? Anything, your demands. If you have any demand, please go ahead, demand it, and if I can, I will try my best to fulfill it for you. Okay. So continuing, and okay, so let's quickly give this develop file to our Gemini very quickly. And you guys might have noticed that I'm getting lazier and lazier and trying to writing by this initial prompt where sort of I give a warm-up sort of to the AI about the whole project that we are doing, because it's very important. It needs to understand the context, that what app we are building, right? So but I'm getting lazier. I'm trying to put the message like it's smaller and smaller, because I see it sort of gets the gist out of like very fast. I don't need to like express a lot here, but anyways, I have put down plan to build this app customs. So far we have only finished the milestone 1 and so there is some progress made with the milestones too, but I'm not happy with that progress, and I want you to let me quickly check. Was it a milestone 2 or milestone 3? Oh yeah, milestone 2 was actually done. It was the itinerary generation logic, which was already working. So yeah, so it actually has to be milestone 3, right? So milestone 2 is also pretty much done, because we are able to generate itinerary between 2 source and destination, and it is fairly sufficient itinerary. It's not very detailed as much as I wanted. For example, it sort of adds some attractions between 2 destinations, but it does not give us, it's still like the hotels and the restaurants, cafes and things like that, which I definitely want. But we have another milestone a little ahead, which will let us customize this itinerary. So I have decided that okay, I will do that sort of advanced part of that itinerary planning in that thing within that milestone. And right now I'm focused on the entire UI of the app, because while we are building mobile app, we want the app to look great. The whole charm of a mobile app is that it has to look great. It has to be very nice in user experience, because that motivates us to keep working on the app. If we are seeing, okay, app is looking really nice, wow, what app, I mean, this is my app, am I gonna launch this app? No matter how many apps you have built 20 apps, 50 apps, 100 apps, every single app is a new app for you. It's like a completely new experience for you. And of course, most of the people try to build their next apps the better version of the previous apps, the best version which they can, right? So every next app becomes the best app I have built so far, right? That's how we sort of move ahead. That's how we progress. So that's where it sort of gives us a push. Okay, it has to look great. It has to be a very good in user experience. So that is only if we have that feeling, then only we are motivated to keep working on the app. And so that's why I want to build the UI of this app like a nice UI. But I'm not happy with the progress, and I want you to redo the entire UI of the app again. However, I will give you some acceptance criteria for each screen is starting from the home screen. Not home screen. Okay, so let me quickly read through this prompt. Develop.md, which is the reference of the file, the development file, plan file, right? In this file, I have put down the plan to build this app in milestones. So far, we have only finished the milestone 1, and although there is some progress made with the milestones 3, but I'm not happy with that progress, and I want you to redo the entire UI of the app again. However, I'll give you some acceptance criteria for each screen, and my acceptance spelling is wrong here, so completely okay. For each screen starting from the home screen, right? So that is the that is my initial prompt, and let me keep it to plan, and let me just fire it away, and then we are gonna wait for the response to come back from Gemini, and then we'll see, right, what it will respond. Okay, understand you want to overhaul the app's UI starting from the home screen based on new acceptance criteria you'll provide. I have reviewed the relevant plan, existing structure, blah blah blah. Examine the current UI implementation. I'm ready to do. Okay, but before that, I want it to explain in its own terms what did it understand about the app. So we make sure that we are on the same page, right? That it has understood the same thing about the app that I think the app is about, right? Okay. What have you understood about this app? Tell me in your own words, right? So it's like I want to hear from the devil's mouth itself. What is that you think the app does? Please explain it in your own words. Okay, so that way we would know what AI knows about this app, right? Of course, based on reading this development plan. Let's quickly check that now. Based on the develop, this is a Flutter-based travel app. The core functionality revolves around user providing a source and destination, and the app detailed travel itinerary. This itinerary isn't a simple route; it's a timeline of events that includes sightseeing, stop, meal breaks, and travel legs. Yeah, so far it has actually got the gist of the app that the app is supposed to do, which is really nice. The backend is powered by Firebase, cloud functions, yes, necessary data, okay. Plan to have user authentication. The immediate focus is on redesigning. Okay, so yeah. So based on its own response, it has got the app's core idea of it, and then it has also got our immediate priorities. So we are really on the same page. I mean, this, if right now I was sort of chatting with some of a junior developer and it would have given me the same response, then I would say that yeah, it's a good thing. You have really understood the app. You have really understood my priorities. So get going. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it the acceptance criteria for this app, right? So for the home screen. So here goes the acceptance, and this time I'll make sure that acceptance spelling I'll not miss out. Criteria. Here goes the acceptance criteria for the home screen. Home screen of this app, right? So what are the acceptance criteria? So first of all, those guys among you who are not developers, so let me quickly explain you in brief, like what is the acceptance criteria, right? When you're building an app, when you're building a feature of an app, right? So an app as a whole is just built with small features in it, right? It's like a combination of various features. Now every feature does something, right? It has to perform some action. Now how would you define that action, right? What is the outcome of that action, right? What are the inputs that will go to the action, right? What is the behavior of that action, right? That is where we defined it using acceptance criteria. That means when this feature will be able to perform things which is as per these criteria which we can accept, right? So the English meaning of this word acceptance criteria, if you break it down, it's like acceptance means we are accepting it, right? And criteria are the sort of conditions, right? Criteria is loosely conditioned, right? So if the app, the feature, right? So acceptance criteria are generally for features, and loosely in a very simple mobile app, like not so complicated mobile app, it can be screen level, right? If your screen is not very complicated, it's sort of one screen is doing just one feature, one job, then that way you can have your acceptance criteria at a screen level also, right? So our home screen of this app, we can define the acceptance criteria. That means if it performs these actions, so this is the criteria, these are the conditions when we'll accept these actions, right? So that is what these acceptance criteria are, and that's what we're going to add here. So first thing is, user must be able to select the source location, right, by entering the input and clicking on the search icon, which will list down the matching results from the Google Maps search by text query. Okay, this one. Similarly, user should select the destination location only after selecting the, so I'm right now defining the acceptance criteria. Let me write it down and I'll definitely explain you each criteria one by one. Okay, only after selecting the source location. Okay, third should be after entering each source or destination location, user must get a feedback of the selected location via its map geocoordinates. Okay, where it's map geocoordinates, and the location must appear as a label in the UI, right? And then fourth, after both the source and destination locations are entered successfully by the user, we must show the button to generate itinerary. Okay, so these are the sort of 4 acceptance criteria which I have defined. Right now, as per my change in strategy, is that I'm not going to tell it anything about the UI, because it's a struggle to get a particular UI out of the wipe coding from LLM. So instead, I'm going to define the acceptance criteria. Now, number 1, user must be able to select the source location by entering the input and clicking on the search icon, which will list down the matching results, right? So that's what it's already happening here. So it's very it's not very, it's exactly same. That's what we want. Let's say I enter the location and click on the search icon, and it's gonna search based on the text that I enter. It's gonna search for that location and list out all the results. For example, what if I would have just searched for York? Then okay, so there is already just York. Is there any location which is like more than once in the whole world? I don't know. Any location that may have multiple search results, which could be it. Let's say some town, right? Let's see. Okay. Oh, so we got this bunch of options, right? I just listed town, and I got like this bunch of options, right? So that's the point. And I clicked some location by mistake. I clicked, so that's what it is about, right? So you enter a text, and then based on that, it should list down all the matching search results, and then user should be able to select a result, and that should get selected, and it should appear somewhere in the UI that user has selected it. Plus, it should also update the map's geo coordinate, right? So there should be a map view which should update the geo coordinates, and then it should show, okay, this is the location that user has selected, right? There is one. Similarly, user should select the destination location only after selecting the source location. So you see there are two selections. One is source selection, one is destination, and so it has to happen in a particular order. First user has to select source, and only then after user has selected source, it should be able to enter the destination. It cannot be like it's entering the destination first and then source, or like it has to be the exact same order. Okay. And so yeah, so I've reiterated the same thing, that after entering each source or destination location, user must get a feedback of the selected location via its map geo coordinate, right? So I want user to be able to have a feedback that, okay, this see in the map that this is the location that you have selected, right? This is where it is in the map, and then its label should appear somewhere in the UI, right? And after the both source and destination location are entered, there should be an option. So once source and destination both are selected, only then there should be an option to click on the generate itinerary, right? So only when we have both of these filled, click on generate itinerary, and that should take us to the next itinerary screen. And INK is telling something, sorry, I'll be back, I'm going for a dinner. Okay, that's fine, INK. Like, you're free to go for dinner and everything, and these are always, there are always recordings available of this over my channel, so anytime you want, you can always come back, watch the recordings. It's just you're gonna miss that live chatting option if you're not able to connect with me on live stream, but that is fine. I hope you can always connect in the next live stream with me anyways. Okay, so that's great. I'm gonna keep in the plan. Okay, let's do one thing. So I'm gonna switch it into act mode, because I know AI must start doing something. AI must start making the file changes and edits and code changes and things like that. So I'm completely confident in switching it to the act mode, and let's hope for the best. And here it goes, right? So fires away. And I want to read the file. So it is asking some approval to read the file, which is a good thing about the Cline. It gives you control, which file it is reading, which file it is writing. You'll always know it, and that's a good thing, because you always sort of have a control over what is going on, right? I'm seeing very clearly in this diff view what are the lines it is adding, what are the lines it is deleting. It's not that I really want to go in and see every time each line that it is changing. It's not as in my regular business to do it, right? But it's fine. At least after it does things, I can see, okay, it has done so many changes, and it's okay. I believe it, I trust it, because I have been using it quite regularly, and I know like it's pretty capable, and it will be able to do its job. And it's asking me, okay, now I want to read this file, and I let it read it. Okay, fine, read this file. It's fine with me. And here we got the green message, and what does it say? I successfully refactored the home screen according to the acceptance criteria. The new home screen now features okay. So again, it thinks it has done its job, right? In green. So this green message means AI has assumed that whatever task you have given, it has done. So it's thinking that it has done, but it is our job to verify that yes, it has actually done it by testing it, right? So whatever we wanted the changes to appear, the changes to happen, we have to make sure that we test it, and then only we can be assured. Just by AI sending a green message does not mean that the whole task is done, right? Unless we don't test it, right? So as they say, trust but verify, right? So we trust the AI, but we have to verify that whatever it has done, is it really done or not. So for that, what I'm gonna do is quickly kill the existing Flutter app, again do the Flutter run, so that way it's gonna recompile the entire app and then rerun it. And I'm getting few comments. Okay, so I get some more comments. V11 giving, damn, the knowledge is flooding out, keep it bro. Got this question, what is efficient like using Flutter or React? Okay, so V11 giving, I really appreciate this comment. Knowledge is flooding out. I mean, that sort of sounds really nice, and thank you for the comment. And I see my app is compiled. I'm excited to test it. But anyways, he has got a question for us. Got this question: what is the efficient like using Flutter or React? So, like many other developers, he is also confused. Should I do Flutter? Should I do React? Like there's so many options to build these mobile apps. Or if I'm in iOS, should I do SwiftUI, or should I directly jump into like doing Kotlin for building my Android apps, right? So there are so many options to do the same thing. Ultimately, your goal is that you want a mobile app. Now, there could be you want both Android and iOS app, or you are just right now interested in building the Android app. By the way, iOS apps are expensive because you need to have that $100 per year of development license for building the iOS apps and putting them on the app store. So that's like a bit expensive, and of course you need like entire ecosystem. You need to have a Mac machine to build it. So it may be that you're not interested immediately in the iOS, you just want Android, right? So there are various scenarios based on which you have to decide what should be your language of choice. So by the way, think it this way, languages and these frameworks are your tools, right? And everything does not fit. Like, it's not that if you hold a hammer, so everything looks like a nail, right? So it's not that you should just keep one technology and just hammer it to everything. Okay, so I will share some of my own ideas which I have based on my own experiences. Okay, so let's take 4 options, right? 4 options that we can use to build mobile apps, right? Option number 1, because Android is the most widely available ecosystem. It's like there are a lot of Android devices spread across the all over world, majority in Asia and all, like there are a lot of Android devices mostly because they're cheap, and because there are a lot of OEM providers, so that way it becomes like there's variability of options, and generally if you contrast it with Apple, then the thing is, in Apple you just have these fixed devices that you can have the configuration, everything, but because you have so many different OEM providers for the Android space, so you can really pick and choose between like Oppo or Vivo or like Samsung or Moto, like many, right? So that's why now the thing is, for Android, should you use Java or should you use Kotlin? Okay, I'm not gonna differentiate between Java and Kotlin. Let's bundle that in the same bucket. Let's keep Kotlin, Java guys in the same bucket. And I would say if you have been building Java based Android apps, try switching to Kotlin, because it's an advanced, newer, functional, fast programming language. It's gonna really improve your development experience, plus it's gonna make your app very performant and secure and so on, right? And Google has been really pushing the Kotlin development thing, right, a lot. So if you want to build an Android app and you are completely into Android and you don't even want to think about iOS apps, okay, let's take that market first. Okay, now the thing is your app is gonna be really like a mobile app, so let's differentiate what is a mobile app and what is a non-mobile app. And in this case, non-mobile app, I'm considering the sort of web apps, right? So if you have an app that is very similar to like what a website can do, right? That is show content to user and let user interact with that content. Okay, if your app is of such nature, you don't necessarily need to build a native Android app. Okay, not necessary. Okay, but if you want to build a mobile app which is a bit different from these things, for example, if you're building an app for IoT, right? Let's say you have been hired for an IoT device company and you want to build an app which has to sort of manage those IoT devices, like right, like there are these home IoT devices, right, like temperature sensors and things like that, right? So if you're building in that space, then if you want like Bluetooth connectivity, if you want some sort of a feature which is very, very native to Android, right, based on its firmware, based on its like whatever under the hood machinery of the sensors Android devices provide, right? And also and if you want to build apps which are like heavy on machine learning, which really utilizes the camera potential, like it's infrared sensors and so on, right? Then you should definitely like blindly build your app in Java/Kotlin. Okay, that should be your choice. Next comes, if your app is like a content browser. Let's say you're building a social media app, like let's say even this app which I'm building, right? These kind of apps So I'm gonna jump into another option here, Flutter option, right? Flutter or okay, React Native will take first, and now let's talk about Flutter. Okay. Yeah, that's true. If you hold a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I mean, it's a very popular saying. It's not that I've told about it. Okay. So if you're gonna right now, my own experience had been that if you want to build a Flutter app, then if you lock in yourself to just the Android ecosystem, you are much better off. Okay, let's say you want to build like a social network or even like this travel planning app, which is like mostly somebody will interact with the content on the app, like content is coming from some API, some CMS or something. It could be a shopping app, it could be anything, right? So those apps, and if you're focusing only on the Android ecosystem, it's better to just focus on Flutter. And by the way, in that case, you don't need to really get into the nitty-gritty of Android, these Kotlin environment. Flutter is good enough. It can really take care of the entire development and everything, right? But only if you want iOS as a secondary thing, right? Or even if you don't want iOS. So that now comes React Native versus Flutter, right? This is where it sort of gets a bit complicated. Okay, so there are two things. First thing is, Flutter has a new programming language. It's called Dart, D-A-R-T, right? It's a new programming language. So if you are going to build a Flutter app, you have to learn a new programming language, and that itself puts a huge barrier in front of a lot of people. Everyone is not so much capable of like grasping the new programming languages so fast, because programming languages means it's like you're changing the engine of your car, right? So if you have been driving like a sedan and you put a SUV, you're suddenly handling the SUV engine. I mean, I know, bad analogy, but the engine, the under the hood capabilities are defined by the programming languages. The concurrency, the threadings, and like a lot of things. And every programming language languages has its own good things and bad things, right? So Flutter and React Native largely comes about the ecosystem, right? So Flutter has a smaller ecosystem, but more robust development roadmap, whereas React Native has much bigger ecosystem, but weak or sort of almost negligent development roadmap, right? Their development roadmap has been like pretty weak, but Flutter has been like being pushed by Google, like in every IO, that means every year. They are pushing some new features, some new things within their Flutter, although there are lesser community of using it. So that way, if you get into some issue, if you have a bug, if you face a bug, you find it difficult to solve those because lesser people are using it versus to React Native. But the thing is, the development, the roadmap, the team behind Flutter is like had been funded by Google, and every year they're releasing some meaningful changes, whereas React Native sort of has become kind of orphaned. There is no major company pushing behind it, right? So there is one company called Expo, which has sort of kind of overtook it, and they are trying to like put everything like React Native and Expo. So even if you go to their React Native website, they tell you to use Expo because it is my own experience. I wanted to use camera. Okay, I was building a feature in a React Native app where I needed to use camera. It was quite like 5-6 years old thing, right? And just to use camera, it was so difficult to find a module or a package to just access the camera in React Native. And then there was this whole Expo thing where you have to build the app bundled with Expo, and if you remove it, like it's a bunch of mess. Okay. So I might be a little biased, okay? I might be a little biased, but I would suggest if you are willing to build a quick app using JavaScript and you don't want to invest much into building it, then you should go with React Native. But down the line, you're gonna face some challenges, which is where you're gonna find the development support very lacking. It's like somebody held your hand together and took you to a desert, that okay, I'll let you cross this desert, and they will leave you in between somewhere, and you have to figure out yourself, how do I come out of this desert? That happened to me already, right? So that, but in Flutter, the kind of thing is that every year at least there is a good progress. So there, okay. And then iOS, if you just want to build iOS app, then go blindly build Swift UI, right? Swift UI is the best choice if you have Mac ecosystem with you. You know, if you can just focus on building iOS apps, right? So just use Swift UI. So that's my answer. That's my whole story also sort of imbued into this answer. So we talked about 4 things. We talked about like Java, Kotlin. We talked about Flutter. We talked about React Native. We talked about Swift UI. Okay. So based on scenario, based on what is the requirement, you know, what you are trying to do with your app, which market you are targeting for this app, right? Based on that, take your own judgment. What knowledge you have, what resources you have, based on that. Thanks so much, man. Based on knowledge you gave, now it's time for me to decide what's better further. Good. Yeah. So it's up to you. You decide based on your own, you know, the kind of scenario that you have in front of you. Okay. But these are the different tools. Use it whenever you need it. Okay. So let's quickly test the app which we have got built. And let me quickly enter like a desktop source. And okay, I see something. I click here. See, this is where AI thinks it got the feature, and you have to test it. So I told it need to get feedback via maps geocoordinate. Now, of course, I would really take the blame on myself, because in my head, I assumed map geocoordinate means it will show me the map, where in the map that location is, but it has actually printed those geocoordinates within the UI. So the thing is, I should have prompted it properly. Okay, it's my fault. We'll fix it. We'll tell the UI, okay, great, you're showing me geocoordinates, but what I actually wanted is you to show me on the map, pointing those geocoordinates where the location is. Anyways, that's great. Okay, destination. So destination, where do we go? Wisconsin. If I can spell it correctly. Like this. Right. So let's select this USA, click great. I mean, great / not so great. The great part is, yes, acceptance criteria are kind of fulfilled, but the problem is the user experience is not so great. I wanted it to show the map. Anyways, we have the coordinates. I think it should be pretty easy from here now. As a source is selected, these G's coordinate, don't display it in the UI. The coordinates display me a map. Okay, so that's sort of feedback I'm gonna give to the Gemini now. So let's quickly tell it. I see you have done the acceptance criteria well, but I see some user experience issue there, and that is that the okay 0 so we got a Q&A, and let me quickly take a bunch, not many comments right here. Gee man, didn't even got bored. I was here around 30 minutes. Okay, I'm leaving. Great. So these kind of comments are really like motivating, you know, like inspiring. So the guy says he was there for 30 minutes and he did not got bored. So, but the problem is, it's not about entertainment. I'm not here to entertain you. I mean, if you're getting entertainment, that's great, but that's like a side, that's not a main thing. The main thing is you to experience the real development. How does it work? You know, how a development is, what a developer goes through, what does he think, you know, while he's doing something, how does he approach the problem, you know, what are the hurdles he faces, and then you learn from it, right? You take it as an inspiration, you learn from it. And as I'm building an app as a developer in front of you, there is some app that I want to build. I want you to build your own app. Okay, by the way, everything there here I'm doing, it is not like expensive. Gemini, I think, has started giving some free API credits where you can I think use 100 API calls for free. Gemini 2.5 Pro I'm talking about, right? So that means maybe a 1 hour of vibe coding. Everybody on this earth, you know, if you got Cline extension, you got Visual Studio, which is completely free. Now you go to Gemini, get the Gemini API key at aistudio.google.com, right? aistudio.google.com. Go there, sign up with your own Gmail account, get a key, use Gemini 2.5 Pro for 1 hour, I guess, every day. I mean, 100 requests should be enough for 1 hour. For 1 hour every day, you and everyone on this earth can actually do vibe coding with Gemini 2.4. It's a very, very, very powerful thing. Okay, anyways. Continuing on, I see you have done the accepted. That is sad. The location coordinates are being displayed in the UI as a text. However, I wanted you to show it in a Google Map instance. Have a unique instance for each location source / destination. As per the UI wise, I think it may look good if we put the location label as a layer on top of the Google Map UI for each. So again, I'm sort of tending towards doing the same mistake that you know, while there is this app that AI is building, now I see something, now I've started visualizing something, there is some sort of imagery it started appearing in my mind that, okay, what if I have sort of a map, you know, so I have this source selected New York. What if this New York as a label appears on top of a map? Like, map looks like an image, right? Like a gallery, you know, in any gallery you have an image, and on top of the image you have the label as a caption, right? I think that way it will get it better. Okay. Like in image gallery, we have images with captions layer on top of it. Similarly, instead of images, we can have map and the location name as a caption. Like in our image gallery, we have images with captions layered on top of it. Similarly, instead of images, we can have map and the location name as a caption layered on top of it, right? So let me quickly read through this prompt again. I see I've done the acceptance criteria. By the way, I know this is like Q&A session, and so far the chat were not so overwhelming. It's not that I've been like flooded with so many questions. More than questions, there were comments. So compliments rather, right? So I mean, so that was really motivating, inspiring. And so yeah, so I'm continuing building my app, and I'll pick any question as and when it comes. So okay, reading the prompt again. I see you have done the acceptance criteria well, but I see some user issues there, and that is that the location coordinates are being displayed in the UI as a text. However, I want you to show it in Google Maps instance. Have a unique instance for each location. As per the UI, I think it may look good if we put the location label as a layer on top of the Google Map UI for each. Like in an image gallery, we have images with captions layered on top of it. Okay, so this is my idea. Again, I hope it understands it, what I'm trying to get it, and it does it. Okay, fired away, and let's see what we'll get. Maybe it would not be something that I'm hoping it to be, and I have to nudge AI. I have to give it another feedback. It will do its thing. It will come back to me. It will say green, I've done it, and I have to verify it again, right? So I trust the AI, but I have to verify it. Why does it need another Google Maps? Was they not already? Okay, maybe earlier when it has removed. I don't know. Okay. That's it. Is that it? Just imported it. What are the changes? Okay, I missed the changes that has been. That's fine. I'm gonna reset it, rebuild the app, and let's see what have we got. I hope it looks something similar to what I'm hoping for it to be. So let's use the same source. It's kind of a mentally taxing to come up with the location name every time. I mean, if you guys have any suggestion for the location, please put it in the chat so I can use that. But otherwise, I'm gonna just, I don't know why New York just sort of comes up in my mind. Maybe their marketing has been so strong. Oh wow, that's great. That looks neat. But is it really New York? I mean, the map tile has not appeared, right? Can I like, okay, map moves, but no zoom in, zoom out option. Okay, it's just this red place marker and it says New York and it's not showing anything around. I don't know, like okay, let's see. Washington, let's say Washington, New York to Washington. Click. I mean, okay, one thing is good, that is the inputs are still there, which is good. So we can always go back in and change our options. Like for example, instead of New York, I want to change to Cali. And I don't know the spelling. Right, so if I click this, so it updates. So that way we have always this choice that we can go back and update the location, which is fine. California to Washington, generate itinerary, and let's try generating itinerary. I mean, this is okay. I mean, I think, what do you guys say? I mean, please drop in the comment in the YouTube and tell me if this sort of UI works, because I think, excuse me, maybe due to all what I've been trying to build so far, and you know, my expectation has fallen like quite down through the floor here, that even I'm able to get this. I'm pretty happy with it. Although I'll fix this map. The map doesn't look anything like where's the, there are no locations in the map. Like it should show the proper tile. It's not showing that. So that's one thing. Okay, let's do this thing. So this will ask it to remove this sort of input after we have entered it and only show these tile, and give an option, edit option with the name here, right? So we'll remove this, we'll hide it, and we'll rather have an edit option here. So when we click on the edit, then this map will disappear and only the search will come back. So sort of we'll switch between this this input and this tile, map tile UI, like right? So that way it will be much cleaner. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, great, looks fine, but I see following issues / feedback. Okay, let's start giving your feedback. So more feedbacks. First thing is, map tile is not showing exactly any location. It just show me a place called the place marker in an empty map view. So I want to see the location. Maybe the zoom level is quite down, right? Maybe the zoom has to be a little bit more so that I can see a few places around it. and let's try with our hypothesis. Let's say I think the zoom level is not correct. Okay, I think the map tile zoom level is not correct, as I'm not able to see any nearby locations around the selected location, only a place marker on empty map. Okay, number one. Number two. What was number two? Okay, edit, right? After the location selection, hide the location input and instead add an edit option with the location caption itself. Okay, and 3, clicking up on the edit option must show the location input again and hide the map, which should be updated after re-entering the location if the input value changed. Okay, right? So these are the sort of 3 feedbacks, or sort of one issue and remaining to a feedback, right? So the issue is the map tile, right? It's not showing us like any, it's not looking like a map per se, right? It has to look like a map. So for it to be looking like a map, it needs to show some places around it, like, so it should show New York, and it should show like other like Boston, and a few things are nearby around it, right? I don't know, maybe. So it seems like a zoom level issue where there should be like a the map should be like zoomed out a little bit after, and then there are 2 feedbacks. One is that right now it's showing both the location input and the map tile, right? So we don't need to see both at the same time. It does not sort of make sense. This input can be hidden away, and instead we can have like an edit symbol here. So if we click on edit, so this tile should hide away, and then this input will come where we can re-enter any location, and then we should get it updated and things like that, right? So that is a plan, and let's please make these changes. Please make these changes, and then I think we will be done with the home screen. Okay, and today's my goal is to really finish up this home screen, because we have really spent like previous one entire session, and guys, if you have seen that video, I was really tired. Okay, and I really apologize if you guys have noticed it and felt very bad about it, but I was very tired in that video, and it was sort of, I couldn't do much in that video, right? But today I'm more energized, right? So I'm more awake. So I think we definitely finish up our home screen today, definitely, and maybe do some additional activity with our itinerary screen also, right? Let's see if we can have something. So we can make some changes with our itinerary screen also. I hope so. And again, the app is building because we have made changes. So this blank part is not looking very nice to me, but which is sort of not so primary thing. It can be like secondary, it like this entire blank thing. By default, it can show like a map tile or something. I don't know. Again, because I really cannot think about many locations. I'm gonna click great. This works. But again, the tiling is a problem. this is a live map because I can shake it. Uh-oh, what happened? How do I launch the app? Yeah. So, okay, let's enter the location now. I was trying to zoom into this app and somehow like that got killed. Okay, let's do this thing. Yeah. So okay, so New York works. Let's change it, and I hope our map will get updated. Another new place. Let's say Boston directly. Right. So again, I'm not happy with the map because it's really not showing anything. You know, it's not looking like a map, but the switch feature between the input and the map is working fine. So that's fine. LA, yeah, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Is this the spelling? I think. Yeah. Okay. So source is this, definition is this. Looks okay. Not bad. The only thing is map still not looking like a map. Okay, now I really need to get this map working because otherwise we cannot move beyond this screen, and it's not really, it's still giving me a a map field. So what now? Maybe zoom level is not the problem. What is the problem now? Let's do one thing. Let's take a photo of it, a screenshot, and share it with the AI. Okay. So the screenshot today, right? So there's a screenshot. I'm gonna drop the screenshot to the chat, and I hope it would have received it. It did. Okay. So I have attached the screenshot of the home screen, and it does not appear to be having a proper map tile UI. It needs to show me the selected location and as well as few locations around it. Please work on it. Okay. So really, I mean, this time it's not like I'm giving it a multiple feedback. I have actually given it as a screenshot, and I really wanted to focus on just the map tile. Like it has to look like a map, but it's not looking like a map. So I've given it like a very simple prompt. I have attached a screenshot of the home screen, and does not appear to be having a proper map tile UI. It needs to show the selected location. Like Boston, yeah, label is fine, but you know, it's good if it shows in the label also. As well as few location around it. Please work on it. Around it within the map tile itself. Okay, it's not that you need to show like multiple location somewhere. It has to be like the like a map, how a map looks. Okay, let's see what do we get now. And I got one idea. Oh yeah. I remember in my Android manifest file, I still have my old API key. I have to update that map API key most likely. Okay, and it's gonna pull it from my env file directly, so that should be good. If it can really work the way it's trying to make it work, then I think it would be good. Let's see. Otherwise, I can place right. So this is what I was talking about, right? So this API key which you see, this has been rotated. So it no longer works, and I think that was the problem. See, these are these tiny issues sometimes, you know, make you really hold your hair, like what's going on. Okay, so let's see. Let's run the app. So we hope to see the proper map tiles because our API key is updated, and it's not that I have I think that does not work that way. Let's give it this entire error as it is and ask it to fix it. By the way, guys, one thing I observed, if you're building a web app like Next.js app or something like vibe coding, and if you're building these Flutter app mobile apps, so the amount of token utilization in these Flutter apps is much less compared to web apps, and that is a good thing, because that means you don't get much cost wise, right? Cost wise, if you're doing vibe coding and you are building mobile app, it will be cheaper to build in compared to web app, but web app will be much faster to build. You know, you can build quite a bit of a web app in a very small time versus mobile app, because one thing, of course, this mobile ecosystem is not so integrated, right? It's a bit, it's still not like web, you know, where everything is like Next.js, everything does, I don't know, I mean, yeah. So I have a cloud function, right, which is on the, then I'm using these SDKs and things, like, hard to explain, but anyways, let's see if we get our mobile map tile working properly. Oh yeah, good. This, right, this is what I was talking about. So map, it looks like a map. We have New York, we have things around it, right? Looks good. To where now? Where do we go now? Let's say New Mexico. Just for the sake of it. Cool. Right. Okay. One more thing, I'm not liking that generate itinerary sort of got hidden away behind, under, that we have to scroll for it. So I have to come up with some clever way that, you know, it should not, like, user should not be scrolling to get to that button. So these labels, source and destination labels here, does not even make sense, right? They're like really taking so much space, this much vertical space, and they're not doing anything. Why do we even need them? Instead, with the location name itself, right, we can have these labels along with it. Like, what is the harm, you know? Source New York, and there's a map behind it. Like, there's no harm in it, right? Same way, destination New Mexico, there's no harm in having the label placed here, and we'll gain these much needed, these real estate, like these vertical, and then our button will start appearing like nicely, right? So that way, I think that would be a better user experience wise. But of course, if you think something else, please drop in the comments. Let me know. Am I like not doing the user experience wise a good job? Maybe there are better ways to do it, right? I would really like to know it from you. Anyways, so the labels, source and destination are taking crappy bands. So I'm using the external Bluetooth connected keyboard, and it often breaks and I have to fix it. Are taking up quite a bit of vertical space, due to which my generate itinerary button is pushed down out of the fold, right? Out of the lower edge. Let's say out of the lower edge. Fold is a browser term. It's not a mobile term. So let's say out of the lower edge. I want to remove these labels. And instead place them along with the location names itself, like source New York. Okay, so this is another sort of feedback, a nudge, or what have you, right? So it's a very small change, and with this we can gain the much needed space, and it has made the change, and we'll have our button appearing, right? So user don't have to scroll down and look for the button. Okay, I've updated to address your feedback. Labels have been removed and now part of the. Okay, seems like it. Let's see. Oh. Again, this empty bit we need to fix. We need to do something about it. We'll do it. Not a high priority. Kind of we can look again at it. Yeah. See. So you see the source, right? Earlier it was like above here with so much space. Now it is moved down. I mean, there could be still much better ways UI-wise to do it, right? And any other designer, a mobile designer, app designer could really do it far, like something good out of it, right? But for now, I think it's good. It's okay. I mean, it's workable, right? But of course, if you have some feedback, if you have some inputs on this, please share with me. Okay. Again, which book? Florida. Yes. Anything. Great. So the whole point was that this button, it should appear there. You know, user should not be scrolling to reach to this button. It should be very, you know, upfront there. And just to make sure we should, you know, okay, there is no way to cancel it, right? Which is not needed. You know, it will just add another item, and I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so this is this, and there's one more thing which I think we can do, and I'm not sure if it really works, but it is something again I'm imagining, and if it will be possible, if it can happen, it would be great. And that is, why not add some images, you know, some images of the places within New York, right? So or selected location, right? Selected source and destination, you know, it's just like a dead map, right? It's not very lively. What if we can fill this with like more images, like images of places within these locations? Let's see if these are available. And by the way, I'm pretty happy with the progress we have made for with the UI so far, and I'm going to keep it. And so that the time is to I think this should be now git ignore files, right? So let's manually add these files. So basically I'm trying to commit the changes just to keep my changes, not to lose my changes. And I see these bunch of other files doesn't look like which are needed, and write a message. Yeah, home screen UI, and I spelled home wrong. Home screen UI. Okay, so let's commit it. I'm gonna again take the help of this thing. So right. So two things. First thing, in my git I have few unstaged files. Please add those to git ignore. Number one. So it will give me some command, and I need to just run that command. So these are the files, right? These files I want to add to git ignore. I don't want to manually do it, so I'm taking the help of AI, and it has just done it. So basically, it just needed to add this dart tool into the git ignore, and that does the job, which is fine. Which I could have also done if I would have read it clearly, the whole path. And I'm a lit lazy, Being a lazy developer, actually, they say it's quite useful, because if you can do the same thing in lesser steps, because lazy people do that, like they try to minimize the steps, and if you can achieve the same result in lesser steps, it's always good. It saves time and it saves other kind of costs. Anyways, so in development, it's good to be lazy. Okay, this is fine. This is done. Let's close this one. And now images, right? Images of the locations within that destination, within these places. So let me quickly look through some chats if I've got any. Nothing yet, so that's fine. Okay, I have an idea. What if I can add few images of the places around the selected location, like cafes and other attractions, probably with their cumulative rating inside the Google Map tile view. The images has to be fetched from the Google Places API. I think Google Places API provides this, but I'm not sure. So I'll let AI take a call on this if it's even possible. Fetched from the Google Places API. Okay. Let me know if it is possible to do it. I have a feeling that if you ask AI if it is possible to do it, so it may, even if it is possible, it can say it is not possible, which is like, I know they do it sometimes, but Gemini has been like pretty good so far. Let's trust it. Okay, let's trust it. Let me know if it is possible to do it. Then just do it, right? So I have an idea. What if I can add few images of the places around, for example, New York. Now in the New York, there would be like various cafes, there would be various attractions. So what if we can like, put in small tiles, those images appearing on top of the mat tile. Images of the places are like park, attractions, appearing in a horizontal grid layout with their cumulative rating, with their name. I know, like, I don't want to make it too busy. I still want it to look clean, but bring more life to it, right? Like right now, these are just a map and a location name. if we can showcase like some activity happening around this place, that will make it more alive, right? That's what I'm trying to do. Inside the Google tile view. Let's see what happened. Okay, I'll just quickly switch it back. So I have committed my earlier changes. I'm pretty relaxed at whatever I've done so far, which is a good progress, and I'm happy with it. I don't want to lose it, so I'll not lose it. So that's fine. And then I'm gonna, and I've given it this additional task to do it. I'm hoping that okay. First I asked, is it possible? This is a great idea. It is definitely possible. Great. So AI has confirmed it's possible. It's a good news. I will use the Google Place API to fill the nearby places and their photos. It is nice. Let's see. It's possible. Let's see. So it will make the changes, and then we have to review. And I just hope to make it look more alive, right? More engaging, as they say, right? So it's doing its thing, it's making changes, code changes, and after it is done, it's gonna send us that green message. That means it thinks it has done the task, and we have to, of course, verify it, and then we have to see. Like, for example, just to achieve this one, first it told us in green that it has done it, and then we reviewed it, and then we sort of, along the way, we felt, okay, there could be these small changes which it can do, so it will look even better. So we have reached to this point. Now we want to move further, right? And today's session is, by the way, entire about home screen. I thought I can move to itinerary, but why not? Why not spend more time to home screen, and let's get it in a shape that, as I said, right, it always feels more motivating to work on a mobile app, and it looks good, when the user experience is great, because then you feel, oh, it's an app that I'm building. Not so much with the websites. I don't know why. I mean, with me, websites, if it does basic things also, that's okay, but mobile apps, like, I'm quite keen on, it should have a good experience. The mobile apps that I'm building, they need to have a good experience. That's just my thing. I mean, of course, theme wise, color wise, there's a lot of improvement that can be done. Font selection, like right now, it sort of does not have, it's not like this whole app, right? It's not like telling a story yet, like our brand story, but we can come to it, and we will come to it at a end, at the complete, and that is when we'll just work on these fonts, these styles, these colors, and things like that, right? Right now, we are kind of at a feature level. Okay, feature level. How what are the things that it should have? That's my current area of focus. Not so much about the colors and things, right? So far, I hope you guys are actually seeing how a developer, right? How a developer builds an app, what he thinks while building the app, how he plans things, how he sort of structures things, how he gets things done while building the app. And the whole point is to live stream it. And as I said earlier in this video, that everything here is completely transparent. The app, any progress that I'm doing is completely only over the live stream. There's no behind the scene thing which I'm doing pre-planning or anything. So wherever I fail, I'm having trouble fixing the errors. I've tried fixing multiple times, I'm stuck in a loop. Great. Nice. What does it say? The name of this node is not a name. And here we go. So a bug is our home screen, and it says it's using some names which are undefined, and we have not run out of context. So I don't think context is a problem. So what happens sometimes when we are doing vibe coding, we fill up so much context that sort of it starts to face some challenges to refer to like things across the entire code base, but I don't see that as a problem here. So let's see where it's struggling. The method isn't defined. So I'm gonna tell it in home screen, and let's refer to this in home screen line 402. You have referenced a method which does not exist. Have you forgotten to actually implement this method? Because this is not like some inbuilt method of a library. It looks like a custom method. So it need to define this method, right? Implement this method somewhere so that it can be referenced. So let's see what it will say now. So is this correct? I've been trying to use the classes from Google APIs package without importing them correctly. The classes are part of the library, but I've been calling them as they're part of the home screen. I will not correct the code by clicking. Okay, so I sort of got some hint. And the there is gone. Like there's no error anymore, right? Those errors are gone. So our app will happily compile, right? So you saw what I just did. So AI got confused and it sort of needed a second opinion or a help from the human. Sometimes it happens, imagine there's a junior developer and he's like quite lost, like it's context, it's this context is really filled with like myriad of things and he cannot think clearly. So here I am like sort of sitting idle, not doing anything, and I felt pity. I thought, okay, fine, let me help the AI. So I just looked at the code. I sort of used my own instinct, as a developer I know how things work. I saw it trying to use a method, and that matter is not. By the way, the error message itself was very, very clearly telling it that this method is not defined anywhere. So I just told it the same thing, that the method you're trying to use, it's not even defined anywhere. So why are you referencing to a method which does not exist anywhere in this code, or neither you have imported it from somewhere? I did not told it you have imported from somewhere, but then it used its own analysis because it sort of was able to focus that, okay, this is the thing, and then focus, man. Like focus is a really powerful thing here. Okay, and which is also in a real world, while as a developer, if you focus, things get in fast. And yes, so that's the thing. Let's see. So app will compile now because there is no error. But let's see where the feature that we are hoping to get, how far we have reached that feature. Okay. But images are missing. So images are missing. right? I have another idea about it, but at least we got something. We got some rating and some what images are missing. 403. Let's see if I try to access this image directly in my browser. Maybe we'll access it. Okay. So we are basically facing some issue accessing these images, 403. And let me just give it in a log, right? Maybe just tell it, I see you have implemented the feature, but there is an issue with accessing these images as it is giving. I think there is some API I need to enable again. Is there any API that I need to enable from Google Cloud? Because earlier, whenever I've seen this kind of 403 error with any of the Google Maps related feature, like here we are trying to access Maps API places photo. The places API was enabled already. Places API is enabled, but let's see. See. That isn't the problem. This is new, right? Oh, is it the old places API that we need to enable? Because it has sort of hard-coded this thing, which doesn't look right to me. This URL is sort of hard-coded, right? And I think it's missing something. It's not, that's how you access it. By the way, all the places API are subdomained under places.googleapis.com. So it is accessing maps.google. So that is one thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm a developer, right? So, and there is sort of some challenge with the AI is that they're trained with some old data and they may not have the updated knowledge. So I'm just gonna read through the documentation, acquire the latest knowledge, and just tell AI that and what I think is this URL is either wrong or either there is a proper way to access the places photos. Google Places API photos, place photos. Equals to place photo. That's one thing. So I got this sample URL for accessing a photo, right? I'm gonna give it to Gemini. I think you have done some mistake with forming the URL for accessing the photos as per the latest documentation. It should be. Okay, so it's gonna find the pattern difference. So the original URL that it has used and the URL that I have provided, it's just like a pattern matching and updating, like what is the right pattern to use here. Okay, so it has done that change. Now my hypothesis is that should be enough. And again, it says task completed. A small task. Let's run the app and let's see if we get it. Excuse me. New York. New York. Yo. This is what I was talking about. Now we got places and their photos and the rating. I mean, yeah, we don't have name, but it at least adds some liveliness to it, right? Okay, you selected New York. Now see, there are these things around New York, right? So there is some, and let's see a destination. Let's see LA. Not LA, sorry, Las Vegas. Because who don't want to see Las Vegas? The places around Las Vegas. Nice. See, here's how Las Vegas looks. I mean, the places within Las Vegas, right? And mostly casinos, right? But again, the problem, sort of that button gone down. So what I have in mind, right? What sort of vision that I had, right? Is these images should appear like tiny squares on top of, like, the top edge is small, not so big, like small, like within this big, 2, 3, 4, 5, like around 5 images could fill like this top sort of 1/3 area of this map, right? But would it be too much? Like, would it be too much? Let's implement it, and then we'll sort of try to see it. Okay, the place images are appearing now, but I want to slightly modify the images must be layered on top of the map, just like the caption, but they should be placed touching the top edge of. Again, I'm inclined to sort of really get into the details and describe like how the UI should be, and I'm not sure, maybe it's gonna do it, maybe it's gonna fail doing it. Let's see. I hope it will do it. Top edge, they should be placed touching the top edge of the map, and each photo should be small enough that we can add just 5 images within the width of the map style. Okay, again, I don't know like how well of a job am I doing to really put what sort of I have an idea about this UI, and trying to explain it in words. It's very difficult. It's like a lost in translation thing. Like I'm trying to express something which I think should look like this with words. And that is where AI sort of misses the mark. They sort of don't get exactly what you want. But okay, place images are appearing now, but I want to slightly modify the UI still, and the images must be laid on top of the map, just like the caption button. They should be placed touching the top of imagine and each photo. And what is it? And each photo should be small enough that we can adjust 5 images within the width of the map tile. Okay, so this is the thing. And I hope I'm doing an okay job to let it understand like what sort of UI I'm hoping to build. And guys, the stream is almost coming to an end, and I see we are almost coming to the closure of the home screen, at least to the level which I was hoping it to be, to be at, and it is quite close. If we cannot complete it today, it's fine. I mean, I'm okay to give it some bit of effort in my next stream, and I hope it would not take like so long. It should happen like easily. Whoa, yeah, this see. So yes, images are appearing layered on the map. Now the ratings are missing, but I needed ratings. The ratings could be placed along the each tile, like in the left, like bottom left corner. And should I like put a transparent black strip like the label has, like similar strip on top of these images also? Let's enter the destination also and see like how do. Yeah, and there is some challenge that sometimes I don't get the anyway, we are not generating any itinerary now, so I can just like enter any location just so that I can test. So we are getting images. So I don't know which Florida there was some problem, but anyways, yeah. So is it redundant? Because we already have New York like very clearly appearing on the map itself. Is it redundant that we have this thing at all? What do you guys say? Okay, let's leave it for now, but I definitely want to do the ratings on top of these images. Okay, now it is much better, but the ratings are gone. Add those on top of each photo. On top of means, I mean not above it, like on top of, layered on top of it, layered on top of each photo, appearing at its bottom left corner, right? Bottom left corner. Okay, again, very small change, and I hope with this change done we can really close our stream. And not bad, I mean, it's okay, it works. Like maybe we can add some animations and things, but it's not that bad. It's definitely not, but we have to understand, guys, that it's completely vibe coded, right? There's not a single line of code I have written to achieve this UI, right? I mean, we have to really acknowledge that fact, how far this ability to build apps just by like prompting has come. And so like that way it's remarkable. It's really remarkable. And we added the ratings, And let's quickly test that. And with that, it's already 12. Like, time has come to end the stream, but we have also achieved our goal. Like we are very close to it. Let's see. I mean, if we get the rating, that's fine. That's where we can actually close our today's stream. And here we have it. Voila, right? Great. Another location. Which was other location? Can I like see something nearby? Berkeley is not in Beverly Hills. Arlington. Amsterdam is in New York. I mean US. Dallas, yeah. Let's go Texas. Let's do Dallas. Good. We have it. This is good. Not bad, right? I mean, wipe coded, completely AI generated, right? A Flutter travel planning mobile app. And this is the home screen of that app, right? We have a input to enter the location. We can search for any location by its name, and it gives us all the Google results of that location. We click on it and we get a nice map of that place, and we get like some places within that place location, right? Places within that location along with their nice ratings, which give it a more lively appearance, right? And then we have this nice generate itinerary button, which I'm very inclined to click it, but now right now I'm not gonna click it because it will take us to a different screen, which is completely not designed yet. It functions, but it's not designed yet. So we need to do that. And there's the home screen, which looks fine. Of course, there's a lot of theming around this app, colors, style, fonts, things like that, right? That we're gonna take up at a bit later point in time. But as per the feature, the functionality of this home screen is, I'm pretty happy with it. So with this, we will close our home screen for this travel planning app. And in the next, our Moonlighting session, the wipe coding session, we're gonna continue building the same travel planning Flutter app, and we're gonna work on the itinerary screen, the UI of the itinerary screen, how it should appear. Excuse me, that was a huge burp. How it should appear, what sort of tiny bits of UI and things like that it should have, right? So there we gonna so we have already an itinerary generation engine which generates a basic itinerary, not really sophisticated the way I wanted the itinerary to be, but with that itinerary plus we will also add some dummy information, because when we are implementing the UI, it has to be capable of handling the future expansion within the itinerary that we're gonna do, right? So we're gonna like oh nice, we got a subscriber. Wow. So just now we got a subscriber. Just now, I mean, somebody subscribed within our live stream. That's really great. Thank you so much for subscribing. And here our subscriber goal is also updating, which is a really great experience to have. Thank you guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you will enjoy it. I hope you learn from it. And this is not an entertainment, it is a moonlighting session. It's for you to do the things which I'm doing here. Follow me, build the apps, maybe the same app that I'm building, or build your own app that you want to build yourself, right? How easy it is become using vibe coding to build the apps. Now go ahead and sleep now. If you are in India, don't build app further. It's 12 a.m. Go sleep, take rest. Join me in my next live stream. Connect with me live, chat with me, ask me questions, doubt. If you are facing any bug, just send me a bug, man. I'll try to fix your bug from here as much as I can. Okay? So that's from me. Thank you for watching. See you next time.